It's Kevin May from PhocusWire again. Just come off centre stage, John Kim, President of HomeAway. We just wanted to follow up on a few things. So it's an interesting talk. There's a couple of points I'd like to kind of raise with you.
Sure.
You have your global inventory of how many properties do you have on HomeAway, which is
over 2 million.
2 million. What do you think the global estimate is?
That's an interesting question. There's a lot of debate in regards to what do we think is the total addressable market for alternative accommodations. And so one view might be that you only look at secondary homes, so second homes, and you might consider that a market. That's the market we've been historically dominant in. There's a different view, which is that there's a lot of people who are willing to give up their primary home for the right price, especially during compression periods, something such as South by Southwest in Austin or Jazz Fest in New Orleans. And in that view, you might say the total addressable market is all homes. And so as you start to look at basically the world, it depends on your point of view and maybe the time frame in which you look at that point of view.
Yeah.
But we do know it's a real phenomenon that at South by Southwest, for example, that there's a lot of people with primary homes who will basically move out for 2 weeks to try to make $5,000, $10,000. And so it's a phenomenon we can't ignore. And I like to think about, when I think about the product and I think about the world, I do look at the total addressable market as all real estate.
And that figure is?
You tell me, but you know, it's we're not even 1% penetrated.
Right. Okay. So the question about how far do you wish to grow is infinite. So we won't even bother asking.
There you go.
But I mean, for the sector broadly, what do you think the biggest challenge is for you? You know, as a private accommodation intermediary, is it scaling up? Is it connectivity, or is it the competition, or is it all of those?
You know, the biggest risk and the challenge that we face is that when you have so many properties, you have 2 million properties, and growing, by the way, very rapidly, is that the variance in the quality and the service that you get for any particular home, it's wider than it is for hotel. So if you think about star ratings, 1 through 5, the variance is still pretty tight.
Yeah.
When you look at the variance in the VR industry, it can be much wider.
Okay.
And so that is the biggest challenge, is to understand and how to make sure that you can shrink the variance from this end, at least. And
how do you do that?
Well, you make sure that you identify for people where the opportunities are, if there's a gap in service. You really pay attention to user feedback. And then there are programs that are emerging, brands that are emerging, third parties that are emerging that will give that verification, that will give that layer of confidence, that will ensure that certain things are up to standard. We just launched a program called the Premier Program. Yep. And the Premier Program really is a flag on the site that identifies for travelers where we have a partner who really has a standard of care and a standard of service that we think meets the bar. And so it's a quick signal to basically the traveler that, hey, here's a property that you can take a look at. You can feel comfortable that the variance is going to be a little bit reduced and the quality level is going to be good.
Yeah, so based on that, if the variance, you know, if we can keep doing this and saying it's 1 to 5 in hotels is shorter and it will become shorter in your world, does it then all become just one type of accommodation? And from a comparison perspective, which is what the mothership Expedia is doing, because it's going to be comparing your content with their own hotel content. Do you think we'll eventually get to a world where accommodation is just one thing rather than it being private or
I don't think that'll ever happen.
No.
I think you could have that in the hotel space. I don't think you can have that in the VR space, because think about the following problem, Kevin. When you go look for a home, do you just see it as all the homes are the same? Or do you say, wow, this home is by the beach, this one has upgraded amenities, this one has backyard. There's so many things that differentiate homes. There are no cookie cutter, there are some cookie cutter homes, but for the most part, even within a building, there is different ways that the owner might want to remodel, configure those homes. The furniture might be different.
Right.
If one person picks IKEA and another one picks restoration hardware, you're just going to have a different experience. And so I don't think it'll commoditize. I think that we will see more and more diversity and hopefully a minimum level of quality that everybody enjoys.
Well, if you're able to share a split between properties that are on HomeAway that are owned by individuals and those that are run by a property management company, is it?
Roughly 50-50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, and just to wrap us up then, so how is the integration with the content into Expedia going?
Oh, it's going fine.
Yeah.
You know, we've really focused on some very simple use cases. If you think about Expedia, their model, they're a hotel shopper. And so we've tried to give them inventory that we think is very similar to the shopping experience that they currently have on Expedia. Where we need to go, but we need Expedia to really evolve this. It's less up to us and more up to them, is can they build an experience where it's not for the single traveler or the traveler with just one guest, but one where you are looking for 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, 20 bedrooms.
Right.
And that is a completely different experience where it also may not be instant book because both parties want to know something about each other before they make that commitment.
That's the disconnect between you guys and the hotel guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a big difference is that you won't see that necessarily at a hotel, but you clearly will see that.
We can see that's a challenge for how they do that on Expedia, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so John Kim, President of HomeAway, very nice talking to you, and we'll catch up again another time. Thank you.